Hey everybody, this is part 3. And now I'm going to teach you all the shortcuts I know for greatest common factoring. If you are confident with using the treeing out method and highlighting the common factors and doing the division, that honestly is all you'll ever need. It is a powerful method, and I'm just looking at some of the questions I just chose to do, and I will probably use it because if I get lost, I use it. But there are some shortcuts that you can take, and they'll save you some time, but they don't always guarantee your answer is going to be right. Whereas when you use the other method, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the answer right. So here we go. Show you the sweet stuff. I'm using this one. I forgot to put a name on it, but I will post it. And this is, I can't remember whether I call it challenged or shortcut or something. All right, so we're still taking out common factors. And every one of these questions you could do using treeing it out, circling the common factors, dividing, leftovers, all of that, like a charm. So if you want to, you don't feel like learning a different method, turn the video off now. Have a lovely evening or day. But for the rest of us, let's do this. So there's 2 rules you're going to know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to find the greatest common factor without treeing it out. Yeah, there's your shortcut right there. So there are 2 things. So a greatest common factor can have a number, a variable, or both. So there's 2 rules you got to learn. So for the numbers, or the coefficients, I guess I should say, but I already wrote numbers. It's largest number that we'll divide into divide evenly. I never say that, but I always mean evenly into all the terms. It's the first thing you gotta memorize. Second thing, for variables, is the, greatest common factor. It's the smallest. This is where it gets confusing. Exponent. The variable width. The variable width. Oh boy, I should have written this up ahead of time. The smallest exponent that is found in all terms is greatest common factor. And that's, I think, where this part gets confusing, because it's the biggest number and the smallest exponent. It'd be nicer if it was both biggest or both smallest. Either way, don't care. All right, let's see let me show you what I mean. All right, let's go. This is question 3 in that worksheet. And it is 42 to the 4th minus 18a. All right, so we need to find the biggest number that divides into 42 and 18. I know 2 works. That's where I use my calculator a lot. Well, I know 2 works. I think 3 should work. 42 divided by 3. Yeah. And 3 goes into there 6 times. But 6, I think 6 is going to be our biggest one. So I'm going to go with 6. So that's the biggest number that I think divides into both of those. And then for the exponents, right, that's a to the 1, 6a and 6a. So my choice was between the 4 and the 1, so I got to pick the 1, and that's what goes on the bottom. So no draining it out. No highlighting of common terms. We already got the greatest common factor. All right. So then the 6a comes out front. That's our greatest, our greatest common factor. 42 divided by 6 is 7. A to the 4th divided by a to the 1st is going to give me a3. And then I bring my sign along. 18 divided by 6 is 3. And the a's cancel out. And boom, we're done. It's slick. It works pretty good. The one thing you have to do, right, because this part looks familiar, is really double check this part and make sure that there's no common factors left. So you can't have, if you have an a here and an a here, then what you took out wasn't big enough. But I know that 7 is prime and 3 is prime. So ta-da, we are done. That's all there is to it. But you got to know your multiplication table. That's how I knew that 6 divided into both of those. That's why I've kind of been emphasizing that. Or get really good with your calculator. Let's see. Here's another one. This is number 10 on that worksheet. Minus 34x plus 153 x squared. Okay. Well, I really don't know what the factors of 153 are. I know it's not. It is not divisible by 2. Okay. I know what the greatest common factor is, but this might be one where you just turn around and say, you know what? I am just going to use the tree method because I don't know what goes into 153. I don't want to sit here and play around. So let's start 34. That's even. So it's 2 times something or other. So 34 divided by 2, 17. Okay, so 17. But here's where I think this will go better for us is, we know 2 is not going to be the common factor. So let's try 17. I'm thinking 153 divided by 17. Give me a whole number. Score. All right, so 17 times 9. And we'll just prime tree this one out. Okay. I'm also going to be really lazy. I'm not going to line them up like I did last time. I can see right now that 17 is my common factor. So 17, and then I have an x here. I had x squared. If I put 1 there, it's going to be my lowest exponent. It's going to be x and x. So I guess sometimes you might want to use part of training out. Pretty much when I saw the 34, I knew this was 17. So it was just dividing 17 into this one to see where it was going. All right. Anyway, so 17x. Bring down our minus. So 34 divided by 17 is 2. The x's are going to cancel out. Plus 153. Okay, right there. 9. Or you can go 3 times 3. Whatever. 9x. Done. Now, that was kind of a big number, so I'm going to check. 17 times 2 is minus 34. X. 17 times 9. Yeah, it's 153, just like I thought. So technically my question was done. right there. I don't have to tree it out, but I just wanted to do a check to show you that it still works. I'll get some smaller numbers. How about 60 and 24? So this is number 8 in the worksheet. 60x, oh, minus 24. All right. Oops, gotta move that. So my greatest common factor. Whoops, that was whack. Let's try 6. There's a small chance you're yelling at me with a different number that might be bigger, but I just want to show you what happens if we choose 6. So 6 here, 6 there. And I know there's an x, there's no x, so there's no variable, it's just a 6. So 6 comes out front. 60 divided by 6 is 10x. Minus 24 divided by 6 is 4. And we're only getting half marks. And how do I know? Because you know what? Both of these can be divided by 2, which means you didn't take a big enough number out in the first place. 2 choices. The easiest one, honestly, is to go, I can still take a 2 out. So obviously, that should have been 12. And do that. It made it messy. So 60 divided by 12 is going to be, 12. 60 divided by 12 is 5x minus 2. Now there's no more common factor. So that's where I said it can go wrong for us. Let me just redo that. I should have left my original work because now it's all messy. Okay, so 60x minus 24. We said 6 first time. So we get 6 and 10x minus 4. What you really can do is now look at this part and say, I can take a 2 out. 1 by 2, 5 by 2. So bring your 6 down. Then bring your 2 over. We're going to multiply those. And then 10 divided by 2 is 5x. Minus 4 divided by 2 is 2. So that's going to be 12. 5, oopsies, x minus 2. Either way is fine. I usually just, it's hard to, making this look all pretty is harder than just, going scribble, scribble, scribble and go, guess that should have been 12 to start with. But as long as you always check what's remaining in your bracket to see if there is another common factor, you're fine. I also, on this worksheet, picked some bigger numbers for us. I should have been using big ones earlier. All right. I should have picked some ahead of time. Let's do this one. This is number 16 from that worksheet. So minus 20 x plus 56 minus 32 x cubed. They are sneaky. Never said that. Now you can. Notice that 56 doesn't have an X on it. I call them sneaky because it's not in descending order like you normally write stuff, but no biggie. So now we have to figure out the biggest number that divides into all of those. 2 would work, but I was trying to find something bigger than 2. So if I think of 20, You can have like 2 and 10, or I could have 4 and 5. I'm just writing out factors. So 5 isn't going to work because these two don't divide by 5, but 4 should go into 56. 56 divided by 4, 14. Yeah. And I know it goes into here because that's 4 times 8. So I'm thinking I'm willing to take a chance and say it's 4. So I divide by 4, divide by 4, by 4. So 4 comes out front. The greatest common factor always does. 20, sorry, negative 20 divided by 4 is minus 5. Just bring my x along because there's nothing to do there. Plus 56 divided by 4 is 14. I just did that on my calculator. And then minus 8x cubed. And we're done. Nah, I lied. We're not done. 5 and 14 and 8. There's no common factor. Like 5 is prime. So it would have to divide into these two, and it doesn't. And ta-da, we're done. Check my signs. They're all matchy-matchy. And I feel pretty confident with that. If you wanted to, you could distribute it out, make sure it works. But I'm feeling good. All right. Oh, here's one. So this is number 26 off that sheet. 126 x squared minus 70x. Off the top of my head, I do not know the factors 126. But I do know that this one, 70, is 7 times 10. 10 is not going to divide in that. So I'm going to take a chance here and go 126 divided by 7. Yes, 7 times 18. So the process there is I looked at factors of the smaller number, the one I knew, and see if they divided into this. So 7 times 18 is 126. Failing that, there's nothing wrong. 7 times 10, 7, 2 and 5. That's all prime. 26. Again, I'm guessing from here, I'm going to try a 7. Yep. I mean, I certainly could have started with 2 because that, when I originally looked at it, thought it's like, well, it's even. I know it's divisible by 2. So 7, 6 and 3, 7, 2 and 3 and 3. So my common factor, yep, it's 7. The other nice thing about being able to trade out when you get numbers that you just draw a blank on, this also allows you, if I use the word prove that this is the common factor, or prove your answer is correct. By treeing it out, you can clearly see that 7 is the greatest common factor. So divide by 7, divide by 7. X squared and x, so smallest one. There we go. So 7x. 120, 2 times 3 times 3, or just remember on the calculator, I did it 3 times. It's like 18 minus 10. And there we go. Ta-da. So biggest number that divides evenly and the smallest exponent. Let me find one that's got some more oh, hello. Exciting exponents on it. Exciting, but not crazy. Oh, there's one. There's one. Let's try number 14. we go. Okay, so, this one's super easy. One of the ways to check is, does the smallest number divide evenly into everything that's there? And in this case, it does. So ta-da, 5 is our greatest common factor. 5, 5, 5. And this is, I picked this one because that's my lowest exponent. So 5r squared, whoopsies, is my greatest common factor. So 5 divided by 5. I'm going to put the 1 in. You don't have to. R squared, sorry, r to the 4th divided by r squared is r2. Plus 25 divided by 5 is 5. Cubed divided by squared, 3 minus 2, or imagine 3 r's and 2 r's, 1 left over on the top. And then minus 4. And there we go. So, you know, your multiplication tables, or you're willing to do like modified treeing, doesn't take so much room, and it's actually verging on a quick process. And now I'm going to do a crazy one. This one scares me. Wow, no, it doesn't scare me. It makes me go, ooh, that's cool. 90 m5n plus 108 mn 5 117 m squared n cubed plus 36 m4. Bless their little hearts when they mix the m's and n's together. It's like, okay, I got to really pay attention here. How about you? What do you think the common denominator, greatest common number is? I have nothing. So I'm going to take a chance here. So I'm looking at 90. And okay, so that's 9 times 10. Since these guys don't end in zeros, the 10 is useless to me. But I'm wondering if 108 is divisible by 9. Okay, so that's 9 times 12. I'm going to write that because I'm lazy. 117 is the one that has concerned me. So divide that by 9. Ooh, this is 9 times 13. And I know that's 9 times 4. So it looks like 9 is my greatest common factor. If this had been a number like 14, then I probably could have used a bigger number than 9. But the fact that that's a prime makes me very happy. So I think we're good. So 9, 9, nothing. And besides, even if you mess up and don't have the biggest possible number that can divide, as long as, I hope you guys are yelling at me. As long as you remember to check your last step and make sure there's no more common factors you can take out, you should be okay. Did you rewind the tape? Did you yell at me? You probably should have, because you know what? I'm a doughhead. Look at look at that. Oops. I was so excited that it was 7. I didn't bother to pay attention to see that maybe it was bigger. So I should have caught it there, and I definitely should have caught it here, because both of these are divisible by 2. So that's okay. I fix it. 7x. So that's from there. Now we take the 2 from there. So 18 divided by 2 is 9x. 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it should have been 14x. 9x minus 1. Oops. So it's well worth your time to double check to make sure that there's no common factor. And I just want to make sure that 14 times 9. Yep, that's giving me the 126. So that was an oopsie. So now I got to be really careful. I think I'm okay this time. I'll check that one, 151. No, we're good there. Now we get variables. We got M's and N's. Okay, so M and another M and another M and another M. The lowest. Here's my lowest power of M. So it's going to be M to the 1. And what about the N's? Come on, you're watching it. Talk to the video. You're right. We don't use it at all because it's not common. It's got to be in everyone. If there was an N back here, we could use it, but there isn't. So let's see how we do it this time. So 9M comes in front. 10, 90 divided by 9. M to the 5 divided by M is going to be M4. Bring that along. Plus 108 divided by 9 apparently is 12. Now in this case, my M's are going to disappear. And 5 minus 13. Not a bad thing that I wrote that up there because I wouldn't remember that. M squared divided by M is going to give me M n cubed plus 4 M3. Oopsies, that didn't belong there. So that's a lot of lots. So let's check 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Check. Positive. Match signs, match signs, match signs. Yes. And I think we're good. So I'm really kind of embarrassed that I messed up here. I'd like to tell you it was a teachable moment, but no, that was just a mistake on my part. I made a mistake. I better do at least one more question. And this is just, you get good at it with practice. Right? I said, just demonstrate. I don't always get the biggest number and just watch for it. This one looks fun. So this is number 39. And again, on Brightspace, it'll be posted. You can, or you can just ask me for a copy of this. But it's on Brightspace. You can practice yourself, do all the ones that you want, and then do a few more. Minus 26 x4 y4 plus 65 x to the 6 minus 39 x4 y2 plus 143 x4. All right. Now drink tea. You figure it out. I guess I should have said, hey, stop the video. Give it a shot. Okay. I'm looking at 26. And I know basically the only numbers that multiply together to give me 26 are 2 times 13. I'm looking here. 2 is not going to be my common factor. So let's try 13. 65 divided by 13. Aha! 13 times 5. This is just instead of me treeing it out. 39 divided by 13. I know that's 3. Yep. One sec. Just had Michelle come through with a tour group from Carmichael Outreach. So back to where we were. I'm thinking 13 is looking like our magic number here. So let's just try 143. Oopsie, turn on. 143 divided by 13. 143 divided by 13. Now it did something weird. 13 times 11. There we go. So I can see there is, I just want to use my highlighter. My greatest common factor when it comes to numbers. The fact that the other factors are all prime numbers tells me it's all good. It's all perfect. So I'm going to divide this by 13, by 13, 13, 13. Now let's look at the variables. Sorry, I just want to make sure I got this right. X4, X6. Oh, there's a whole lot of X4s there. So the lowest power of X anywhere is X to the 4th. So there we go. And you know, there's a Y there, a Y there, but nothing there. So Y is not a common factor. If you accidentally added it and did Y2 or something, you'd end up with Y's at the bottom and nothing to cancel it for, so you catch it right away. So 13 X to the 4th. Now we're going to do subtract. Negative 26 divided by 13 is 2. My X4s are going to disappear. Y4 plus 65 divided by 13 is 5. X6 divided by X to the 4th is X squared minus 13, that 39 divided by 13 is 3. Those are going to cancel. Y squared plus 11, and those are going to disappear. Ta-da! That was pretty amazing, even with a little break in there. Hopefully you took that chance and got it all figured out. That is probably the scariest looking one. Oh, we'll do one more. I don't know how long this video is. I don't think it's very long. And do one more. I like number 37. That looks fun. 180 X minus 60 X squared minus 200 X3 Y. Pause it. Pause that video. All right. So what do you think? I see X's, but I always like to do my numbers first. My first thought, let's just try it, is like 10, because they all end in 0, right? So this is like 18 times 10. This would be like 6 times 10. I was going to say, can you actually see that? I hope so. And 20 times 10. But see where I did this one up here with all of it? Those were prime numbers, so I knew there wasn't anything else. But if you look at the ones here, 18 and 6 and 20, those are all even numbers. So I'm thinking maybe I should try 20. Because if I take this out and 18 and 6 and 20 are left in my innermost or my brackets, I'm going to have to take out another step like I was doing, like I did here. I don't like doing that. I would rather just take the biggest number out first. So no. Let's try 20. So 180 divided by 20 should be 9. 180 divided by 20. Okay, so this is 20 times 9. And this is 20 times 3. And this is 20 times 10. There we go. So now when I'm looking, I take a comment. Yeah, we should be good. 20, 20, 20. And an X. Nothing more. No Y's, because there's only one Y over there. So 20X That's going to give me 9. This is the first time I've started doing this little bit up on top. I kind of like that, so I don't have to keep doing the division on my calculator or thinking about it because my answer's there. X's are going to cancel. Minus 60 divided by 20 is 3. And x squared divided by x is just plain x. And 200 divided by 20 is going to give me 10. And x cubed divided by x is x squared and a y. There we go. Now if I look through here, there's no common factors. I'm going to look over here. Nope, there's no common factors. Yeah. Ta-da. I was just thinking that even though 3 will divide into these first two, because it doesn't divide into 10, then it doesn't count as a common factor. So it's got to be all 3. All right. If you want to practice this on your own, you should. If you want to work with me or with Jeremy, that's TBD too. Have a lovely day.